So welcome to our humanistic Shabbat daytime service from Spinoza Havurah in July 2023. And today it will be myself and Joshua leading the service, and Marcos from Porto leading the discussion. So we are three leaders in three different countries today: England, Finland, and Portugal. How good are the dwellings where we gather, serene and vibrant as the gardens by the river, the aloes and the pleasant cedar trees beside the water. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for people to dwell together in harmony.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת עמים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת עמים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. ינאי נא 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 נאי נאי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. ינאי ינאי נאי נאי. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for people to dwell together. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for people to dwell together in harmony, in harmony. Yananai, nananai, nai, in harmony, in harmony. Yananai, nananai, nai.
Shabbat is a time to sing, to be grateful for life, and to express this with happy songs on the day. It's a time to develop our empathy from the morning and our loving kindness by night, to play instruments of all kinds, and a time for solemn moments. Let our works be loving and great, and our thoughts deep and mindful.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לחיים, ולזמר בשמחה היום, ולזמר בשמחה היום, להגיד בבוקר חסדנו, ורחמנותנו בלילות, עלי הסוב עלי נבל עלי היגיון בחינו מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לחיים ולזמר בשמך היום ולזמר בשיחה היום להגיד בבוקר חסדנו ורחמנותנו בלילות, מה גדלו מעשי אהבה מאוד, עמקו מחשבותינו, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לחיים, ולזמר בשמחה היום, ולזמר בשמחה היום, ולזמר בשמחה היום.
And we, humanity, choose to keep a day of rest as an agreement for all time. For in 6 days we work, and on the 7th we cease from work and are refreshed.
ושומרים בני אדם את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושומרים בני אדם את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשו מלאכה, עשו מלאכה, עשו מלאכה, ושומרים בני אדם את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושומרים בני אדם את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבתו וינפשו, שבתו וינפשו, שבתו וינפשו ששומרים בני אדם את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
Wonderful is peace in the world. Amen. Let us create a peaceful world and let us establish its kingdom now and in the future. May peace come to bless our lives, to which we say, Amen. May we always continue to honor peace in the world, even though no praise can equal the importance of its reality. Let there be great peace in the world for all eternity. Blessed, praised, honored, exalted, extolled, glorified, adored, and lauded be peace in the world. Let it be blessed beyond all earthly words and songs of blessing, praise, and comfort, to which we say, Amen.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמה בעלמא, נברא שלמה חירותנה, ונמליך מלכותי. בהייכון וביומכון ובחיידךו בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שלמה בעלמא ברכו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונאמתה, דמירם בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
Take a moment to look at the people on your screen. Imagine them filled with happiness and joy. And I ask you to please stand again.
Bless the community which blesses us. Blessed is the community which blesses forever and ever.
Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai nai nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 ha. Bachu et hakahal hamevarech. Baruch hakahal hamevarech hamevarech leolam vaed. Hamevarech hamevarech leolam vaed.
Listen, Israel, our people are one. Humanity is one. Let us work together to improve this world.
Shema Yisrael Echad Ameinu Adam Echad Kulanu Navo לתקן את העולם, העולם הזה. Let us pause for a moment to listen to the world around us.
And let us love our fellow as ourselves, with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our might. And let these words be always upon our heart.
ואהבת לרעך כמוך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה על לבביך תמיד.
Impressing them upon our children, reciting them when we stay at home and when we go out, when we lie down and when we get up, binding them as signs on our hands, serving as a symbol on our foreheads, inscribing them on the doorposts of our homes and on our gates. Veshinantam levanenu undaber bam. Veshivteinu bebeiteinu uvlechtenu vaderech. Uvshachbeinu uvkumenu ukshartam leot al yadeinu. V'hayu letotafot ben enenu uchtavtam al mezuzot beiteinu uvish areinu.
This we believe to be true. Humankind is capable of redeeming itself from its troubles. Through our efforts, we heal disease, feed the hungry, and lift up and free the downtrodden. We can achieve liberation through reason, compassion, and working together with trust in one another, with faith for a better future for all. Blessed is the light of inhumanity with which we redeem the world.
We now pause for a silent reflection.
Let us make peace in the world. Let us make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all humanity. And we say, Amen.
נעשה שלום בעולם, ונעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל. ויעקב יושבי תבל, ונאמר, נאמר, אמן. נעשה שלום בעולם, ונעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל. ויעקב יושבי תבל, ונאמר, נאמר, אמן. נעשה שלום בעולם, ונעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל. ויעקב יושבי תבל, נאמר, נאמר, אמן. נעשה שלום בעולם, נעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל. ויעקב יושבי תבל, ונאמר, נאמר, אמן.
We consider with utmost care what Torah is and what it means to honor it. Torah has many meanings, but above all, Torah means teaching. Our central teachings are sacred texts, the Torah of our lives.
Learning is vital to our lives. It enables us to progress, to understand the world better, to develop and evolve. It is a tree of life for those who grasp her, and those who hold on to her are happy. Its ways are pleasant and its paths peaceful. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה. עץ חיים לי למחזיקים בה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה. ותומך מאושר, דרכיה דרכי נוח, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. דרכיה דרכי נוח, וכל נתיבותיך שלום.
נא לעמוד, Meir, the Miriam, the Abraham. Please arise onto the Zoom screen and unmute yourself, Meir of Miriam and Abraham.
Blessed is the reader who is blessed, Barechu et Akore Amevorach.
We bless the reader who is blessed with knowledge on this day. Nevarech et Hakore Hamevorach Bechachma Hayom.
Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. It's a pleasure. It's here with you. I'm speaking from Portugal, and I belong to a humanistic community here in Porto, a very small group growing. And Martin invited me to be with you to speak a little bit about Baruch Spinoza, the patron of this Havurah. I would like to, it's the first time that I will speak about Spinoza in English. I used to speak in Portuguese, but I will try, and you will develop your intuition. So I want to raise some questions, not to be very long, because we can speak about Spinoza 3 days here, but I will try to make a sum, and after I will like to hear your questions and your reflections about Baruch Spinoza. I'm as a humanistic Jew, as a liberal Jew, I love Spinoza, I study philosophy, and I asked myself, what the relation of Spinoza with Judaism? So, and if Spinoza is alive today, what nomination perhaps it can belong? Perhaps humanistic Judaism, perhaps Unitarian Universalists, I don't know, is a great question. So I will try to make a very sum of his life. As you know, Spinoza belonged to a Portuguese Jewish family who go to Amsterdam because Inquisition in Portugal. In Amsterdam, he found his parents found a community in growing, the Portuguese and Spanish community of Amsterdam. This community is very strong because the people who live there, the Portuguese Jews, are all these salesmen, no? We tradesmen, and a very rich community. They founded schools, Beit Midrash, Yeshivot. And Spinoza, his father is from the south of Portugal, Alentejo, and his mother is from Porto, my city. The Spinoza mother is the third wife of Michel de Spinoza, his father. Spinoza grew in a very traditional house, fully Jewish. He learned in the Talmud Torah school. He was, we can say today, a Louis, a very genius student. People, the rabbis saw in him a future rabbi of the community. But when his brother died, when his father died, he and his brother take care of the trade of the father. So he stopped the studies. He didn't go to the yeshiva to study rabbinic studies. He only finished the basic studies in Hebrew, grammar, the Torah, the commentaries, the traditional commentaries to the Torah, but don't study in the more high levels with Rabbi Shaul Levi de Morteira, who is the main chief rabbi of Amsterdam community. But he didn't stop to study. He studied in yeshiva, in Beit Midrash, in his free times, and he studied with this Rabbi Morteira, Levi Morteira. He studied mainly Jewish philosophy, mainly Maimonides, the More Nebuchim, the Guide of Perplexity. He was very deep in these studies in Jewish philosophy. He studied other medieval philosophers, Jewish philosophers. But in this time, he joined with some troublemakers in the community. One of them is De Prado, Daniel de Prado, or Juan de Prado. Juan de Prado is a doctor with Spanish roots who have a deistic perspective and is against the immortality of the soul. So this Juan de Prado studied theology in Spain, in Salamanca, I think, I'm not sure, studied theology and medicine. And another friend called Orobio de Castro studied with him theology and medicine. But Orobio de Castro turned a very Orthodox Jew and writes some works to defend the immortality of the soul. But De Prado don't go to this path and defend a kind of deism and a kind of philosophical position with Judaism. And Spinoza was one of his friends, colleagues, and they lived together and spent many time together in the house of friends to speak with, discuss philosophy, theology. And in this time, Spinoza are expelled for the community, the Herem. Actually, some scholars like Nadler, Stephen Nadler, and others try to get the real reason for this excommunication, for this Herem. It's very complex and very difficult to choose one reason, because have here political and theological questions. Theological, because this community are made with anusim, with people who are turned from Christianity to Judaism, and the leaders of this community have the care to define Judaism very orthodoxly. One reason. Other reason, the Jews are tolerated in Amsterdam. But if the Jews start to make troubles in the city, they will be expelled. So Spinoza is a very dangerous person to all community, because if outside the community, the Calvinists and other Christians authorities heard that a Jew start to preach against the immortality of the soul and for example, and the humanity of the authorship of the Torah, of the Bible. So the community can be in problems. So this excommunication is a need to save the community. One of the very few communities with permission to live a Jewish life in Europe. Okay, so it's a very complex and hard question. But Spinoza, the community tried to turn him back, give some money to belong community, to study rabbinic studies, but he don't want to follow this path. he wants the freedom of his thinking and his life. And after some years after, a prince of Germany, I think is Heidelberg, invite him to be a teacher, a professor in the University of Heidelberg. But he rejects because he doesn't want to lost his free thinking, and he need to establish with the religions patterns of this kingdom. So Spinoza lives a very secular life after this excommunication. He changed his name for Benedictus, not Baruch, but Benedictus is a Latin name, to study Latin with an ex-Jesuit priest, and he started his philosophy career. But he never give up his Jewish studies. So he writes the treatise, theological political treatise, is one of the most magnificent treatises in theology. He writes about the Bible, around the prophecy, the revelation. Is a dialogue between him and Maimonides' philosophy. And in many points, he are against Maimonides, which is the most authority in Jewish philosophy. So Spinoza appears for us in modernity as a new Maimonides. If Maimonides established the Jewish philosophy of medieval times, Spinoza established the Jewish philosophy of modern times with a secular and natural view. For us Jews and liberal Jews, humanistic Jews, is a fundamental work to understand our belief or disbelief and understand our position and our philosophy in Judaism. Spinoza is the first one to put this in a system. So Spinoza, in this theological treatise, speaks about the independence of theology from philosophy. And some scholars view in him a follower of a Jewish Havurahism. Havurahism is a position that appeared in medieval times. The people study Aristotle and follow Aristotle radically, who negates the creation of the world and the immortality of the soul. So, and the distinction in the medieval times, Havurah is a Muslim philosopher, make the distinction, and he talks about the two truths, two ways, a philosophical truth and a theological truth. The theology has one purpose, the philosophy has another purpose. Philosophy is the purpose to find the truth. And in nowadays we can name this philosophy or science. Try to find truth. And theology try to find a good way of life by obedience, by devotion. Not seek the truth, seek the good action and the moral action for obedience and devotion. So Spinoza in this treatise deep and explain this distinction isn't against religion. Many people think that Spinoza is against religion as anti-religion person. No, he says that the religion is very needed for the majority of people, because the majority of people can't attain the good life by reason, can't attain the good life, way of life, only by philosophy or by science. Need religion has obedience and has a devotion to seek and to arrive to this place to the beatitudo, is happiness of life. So these two ways are parallel ways, but all is needed. And Spinoza, to finish, say that a theology need to focus in two things: in history of the text, to understand the intentions of the authors of the text and the context of this text, and need to study philology, to study the meaning of the words, in this case, the meaning of the Hebrew Bible, biblical Hebrew. So he stopped, among writing his theological treatise, he started to write his grammar of Hebrew. It's a very original Hebrew grammar, because this grammar is translated in English, in French, Italian, and Spanish, and Czech. This in Hebrew too. This Hebrew grammar, in that time, many in Protestant and in Jewish tradition, in this time appear many grammars. But Spinoza want to make original grammar, because he says that we need to understand the Hebrew, the live Hebrew that people who wrote the Bible speaks, to understand. So he doesn't want to make a grammar of biblical Hebrew, but want to make a grammar of Hebrew of classical time. Is a different thing. So he doesn't write his grammar based in the text only, because if we write a grammar based on in the appearance of the words in the text of Hebrew Bible, we will find many exceptions in grammar. But he tried to, by intuition, to discover the language structure behind the text, to find the new patterns that we don't find in the Bible, but follow the same logical that some words that appear in the Bible. So this grammar is one of the fundamental works to Yehuda, who make the modern Hebrew for the state of Israel, to make his work of the modern Hebrew language. Spinoza is one of the founders of this Hebrew, not biblical Hebrew, but the lived Hebrew. So, in a theological treatise, Spinoza, when speaks about the Jews, he speaks always as they, not we. So we can say that we don't consider a Jew himself, don't consider anymore a Jew. And for example, for a humanistic Jewish perspective, if one person don't consider himself a Jew, in spite of having Jewish parents, he is not a Jew. But in fact, we can say that in this theological treatise, Spinoza writes as an anonymous. So they don't want people relate this text with him. So perhaps this is one reason that he doesn't say we, but say they in this work. But in fact, he studied all his life, and all his life he stayed connected with the Jewish culture, with the Jewish text, with the Jewish language, and every time people outside called him the Jew of Würzburg, the city that he lived sometime. The Jew of Würzburg, all knows he's as a Jew, and he has many Christian friends, but he never converted to Christianity. So in that time is a very peculiar position, because it's difficult to say that he is a Jew, but he don't belong to a Jewish community. He doesn't belong to a Christian community. Is a very, in that time, is a very strange position in society, because he don't believe nothing. And in any text, he don't identify himself with nothing. He don't speak about what he is. He doesn't give a title to himself. And I want to finish with that. Nowadays, we have some crisis of identity. We need to identify ourselves with a rótulo. I don't know how to say in English, rótulo. Rótulo is the thing you put in the bottles here. How do you say the paper you put here?
A label.
A label.
A label. And we have nowadays, because the very complex world and the very complex story of ourselves, we need a label for ourselves. What I am. I'm a Portuguese, I'm a Persian person, I'm an English person, I'm a Jew, I live in a Christian culture, but I like Buddhist things, I like Hinduist, I'm atheist too. What I am, we need this kind of label, but ourselves are very complex, are very ambiguous, are very fluid. So a study says that people who have a more flexible identity is more happier, because don't close in a name or in a concept. So Spinoza teach us, for me, this flexibility, because he participates in all these areas, in all these communities. He speaks about Christ as a philosopher. He speaks about Hebrew Bible, Hebrew, he has Christian friends, he has Jewish connections, but no one knows who is he, because he is himself. When someone says he's a Spinozist, not another other thing, he's a Spinozist. So I want to finish here my presentation, and I hope you have questions and other things about Spinoza. I will have a pleasure to answer what I know. Thank you.
Chazak Ubaru.
Hasahubaru. Hasahubaru.
Strong.
Hasahubaru.
Blessed.
Hasahubaru.
We now turn our minds and hearts toward those who need our love, who are ill, who are lonely, who suffer pain, or who have been wronged. And let us pause as we call out their names or write in the chat. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. May all who suffer know they are not alone. May they experience refuah shlema, the renewal of body and spirit.
Makom hakoach betofenu, mekorot habracha mechevrotenu. May the source of strength that dwells so deep within us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Amen. Please stand and call out the name or write in the chat the names of anybody that you are remembering at this time, somebody that you have lost at any point in your life. May there be a good remembrance and compassion and kindness and love from all the world upon the names of our honorable loved ones who have passed from the world. Let us make a place in our hearts to remember their good names, a good memory, and let us honor them with good deeds. May their memory be a blessing forever. And please say with me, Amen. Yehei na zichron tov v'chesed v'rachamim v'ahava michol ha'olam al shemot hamechuvadei yakireinu she'avarim min ha'olam. Hava ninsor belibeinu et shemot hatovim v'zichram hatov v'nokiram b'maasim zichronam livracha le'olam va'ed. Please say Amen.
It is upon us to praise the beauty of the world, even as we fall and rise